Sports. This series right now lopsided 3-0. Can a comeback attempt be made? Or will we see a team advance to the finals? Here we go. It's the Chicago Bulls taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. You take a look at the Bucks. They're facing elimination, and the fans in this building know that this could be their last game of the year without a tremendous effort.
It's almost like there's no pressure now. You're down 3-0. You're in your home building. Just come out and fight and scrap and claw. See what happens. Let it loose. Let it fly.
Well, that's good of you to look on the bright side, Steve. That is true, though. They can throw caution to the wind at this point and let it all hang out. Why not?
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for Chicago right now, Mr. Moves in at point guard. Inside of the 4 and 5 are Gasol and Noah. Then there's Jimmy Butler.
And the layup just gift-wrapped right there. I mean, he had a clear path to the basket.
And here is Knight. At the elbow, Sanders. That's good. The assist that time from Knight.
He put that lead pass in perfect position for his teammate.
Here's Mr. Moves. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. 17-foot shot on the way. Jump shot is good. Mr. Moves got his second basket of the game. Now, here is Knight. From past the arc. Joakim Noah grabs the miss. On defense, Milwaukee. They are still stinging from the loss on Thursday.
Yeah, they look totally disjointed. Sometimes you have a night like that. Nothing goes in the basket. It's just pure frustration.
Well, you can call it any number of things, Steve. Disjointed, disorganized, discombobulated, dysfunctional. Any of those would fit.
Stolen by Noah. And they're on the break. Here's Mr. Moves. And the rejection by Sanders. Here's Mr. Moves. From 16 feet away, he cans it. Mr. Moves got his third basket of the night right there.
It's going to be tough for the defense today. If he's got his A game rolling here tonight, we'll see.
Pass tonight. Ilyasova sets a screen for Knight. Pass to McKnight. He feeds it to Antetokounmpo. Clock at 4. Sanders trying to get open. And Antetokounmpo gets it to go. Antetokounmpo's got his first points of the game. The Bulls have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Here's Mr. Moves. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Mr. Moves got 8 points.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I had a chance to catch up with Jason Kidd. I asked him if this team still believed that they could come back in this series, and he told me, absolutely. The guys know we're in a hole, but we've had our backs against the wall before. The pressure is on them now to close us out. We can just go, play our game, and try to get back in this series. We'll watch and see that happen, guys.
Thank you, Doris. The Bulls have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Noah the screen. Here's Mr. Moves, and he drops in the layup off the glass. 10 points for him.
And as hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan should be simple. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Knight with it. Butler covering. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, dishes it to Sanders. Gasol with the rebound.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Here's Mr. Moves, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
How about that? Gets it off right in the face of the big fella. Quick release.
And operating on the perimeter like that negates some of the height disadvantage, too.
Now, here is Knight. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Now the pass to McKnight. Noah with the block. Here's Mr. Moves. Here's Goodson. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, he absorbed the foul and had a chance to knock it down.
That That's all you can ask right there. I like that play.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. The first free throw is good, so both teams making some change.
Nice shooting.
He hits both from the stripe. Bucks for the Bulls. Mayo's checked in, and Mr. Moves subbed in for Derrick Rose. And here is Marshall. There's a screen. Now, here is Knight. He's covered closely. 6 on the shot clock. It's blocked. In transition, here come the Bulls. Mayo's running. The shot's good from Mr. Moves. Mr. Moves got 14 points for the game.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Boy, the field goal percentage is fantastic. Exactly the kind of start they were hoping for.
Marshall can't hit.
Boy, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Here's Aguilar. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Well, with this soft D, they're allowing them to shoot a very high percentage from the field so far.
Yeah, and they're just not offering any resistance, not making anything difficult for them, and they're able to kind of do whatever they want to do.
Marshall passes to O'Brien. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, a construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
Here's Mr. Moves. It's Chicago with another bucket.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Bulls lead by 14. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Game 4 as we get ready to start things up again. And the Bulls guys have been rolling right along, haven't they?
Solid first quarter for this club. They came out strong, and they've put together some nice momentum here.
Steve, I like the looks they've gotten on offense. A lot of good ones.
So for Chicago right now, Mr. Moves, he's in at point guard. Taj Gibson is out there with Festus Ezeli, and it's Mayo in at the small forward. Bucks trail by 16. Marshall passes to O'Brien. Lets it go from 11. And the rejection by Ezeli. Now, here's Marshall. Tight defense on him. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. Let's take this chance now to show you the list of the postseason scoring leaders. Well, you look at Mr. Moves, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player. Chicago leading by 16. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey, Kevin, Mr. Moves in that last game against the Bucks put on a show. He had 40 points and was in the zone as a shooter, lighting it up from both the foul line and the field. Numbers like that make you anxious to see what he can do next time out.
Thanks, Doris, for revisiting what was an astounding performance, Clark.
It clearly was one of those games that when we look back on his career, this game will be right there among the best ever that he's played.
Well, he's in the zone from the outset.
Teams making substitutions here. And so it's Milwaukee with it. It's an 18-point game. Knight with a screen on Rose. Knight on the wing. Feeds it to Ilyasova. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Chicago's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Doubled by Knight. Here's Mr. Moves. Rebounded by the Bucks.
Well, as far as jump shots go, that's as high percentage as it gets.
I'm not sure how that didn't go down.
A nice shot by Knight.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfect.
Three-pointer. And that will fall. The three-pointer on the line for Mr. Moves. Mr. Moves got 19 points. Bucks trail by 17. Knight in the corner. to the middle. Kicks it to Ilyasova. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Inside. Plenty of space. Goes up again, and the call will be against Joakim Noah. Both teams will make substitutions. Here's Knight. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
A few opportunities so far at the free throw line. He's made one. He's missed two. Knight hits them both. Here's Mr. Moves. He's got 19. There's 25 seconds left here in the second. He kicks to Butler. 6 to shoot. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. No good for Mr. Moves. Now Ilyasova to the wing on the left. Marshall inside the three-point line. And the shot is long. Good if it goes. No good. And so that's the end of the first half. Bulls out front, up by 15. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action.